Welcome to Ladies Who Question. We're all here, and by we're all here, it means we have a guest. And that's because Holly and I are starting a new feature. It's called Let's Talk Local. We have a guest, and we're pretty excited about having her, and she's our first guest for Let's Talk Local. Holly, would you like to introduce Allison?
Absolutely, I'd love to.
Hi, Allison.
Well,
Hi.
We'd like to welcome Allison Gurza. She is an owner of a local store in town that we want to hear all about.
In Lake Forest, Illinois.
In Lake Forest, Illinois. And we want to know her background and how she decided to open a retail store, et cetera, et cetera. And primarily, we also want to promote her business, buy local, she's local, and do anything we can to promote all the local businesses in the area.
And that's what Let's Talk Local is all about.
That's
so
right.
We're going to jump right in. We want to know,
Okay.
how long have you been on, 224?
644.
644 Bank Lane in Lake Forest, Illinois, and the cutest street, is in my opinion, in Lake Forest. Anyway, you have this adorable store called Sage Explorers, and it's kind of a lot of different things, but tell us about your store and when did you open it?
We opened September 2nd of 2017.
Wow.
I had decided to leave teaching, which I had done for 15 plus years.
What'd you teach?
I taught mainly 4th and 5th grade here in Lake Forest at St. Mary's, which I also graduated from. But it was just time for a change. And I worked at a children's clothing and toy store in my college town. I went to Humboldt State University in Arcata.
Oh, I was thinking of California.
Yeah, right. Humboldt. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Humboldt.
So there was a cute little toy store called the Rocking Horse. So I worked there for a few years, and it was adorable, and I loved it. But then obviously went into teaching, loved teaching. But when it became time for a change, I thought, well, how fun would it be? Lake Forest doesn't have a toy store, and I grew up here. So once upon a time, I always visited the toy store that was, what was it? The toy station.
Oh, the toy station when I was little.
Yeah. So I had such fond memories of that. And I thought, why not have a toy store? It would be a lot of fun, a new adventure. Because I didn't leave teaching because I didn't like it. I loved teaching, but it was just time for a change. And I wanted something that was a challenge, which I got.
Oh, entrepreneurial spirit. Yeah, that's
yes.
You knew you were
When
going
you
to have a
don't-
challenge.
Well, no, I thought it was going to be easy.
And that was your first mistake.
Yes, it was. So, and it took a while. So I knew the last year of teaching that I was going to be leaving. And starting in that January, that's what I spent my weekends doing. My mom and I would go about, and we would go to visit all the toy stores around, just so that I knew what the toy stores were, what they carried, because I knew I wanted to be something that was unique, wasn't offering what was already around locally. I'm a big proponent of not stepping on other people's shoes or toes. So we did that, did a lot of research on different brands, made my list, and it was just kind of magical how it all came together. I will be honest with you, because I have no business background at all. Again, thought it would be easy. So the school year came to an end, and I spent, the hardest part was finding a location. So I had a commercial real estate agent, and he kept being like, can you please look outside of Lake Forest? Because it was so expensive, and there really wasn't
the
much.
square footage would be, especially where you are, right there near Market Square.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, it has to be in Lake Forest. I don't want to start from ground zero. Like, at least I know the community. I know the families. I'll at least have an initial following. And at this point, I had already developed the idea of having it be a twofold business, where it would be the toy store and a learning center, so that I would still be able to use my teaching degree for something. So again, important to be part of this community that I had been a teacher in. My mom and I had walked past this empty spot on Bank Lane and peered in, and it was cute, but I wasn't sure. I called the phone number. I get a call back, and I was like, okay, I could handle that. Like, that's a lot of money a month, but it's I thought doable. So here we go. Sign a lease. Everything starts moving, because then you want to be open as soon as possible. And I had already made my orders, and orders were being delivered here, there, and everywhere. And we did the build out. Luckily, one of my neighbors was in construction, so he came in and he did the build out. And we knew the start date would be September 2nd. And so I had all these boxes of all this stuff, but you don't know how it's all going to fit.
Oh,
it was amazing.
Oh, yeah.
It was like, when the last box got unpacked, and I can't tell you I did this alone. I mean, I had my old principal, she wasn't helping. Obviously, my mom, a whole bunch of friends. And the last thing got hung up, and I looked around the store and I'm like, this is amazing. It all fit perfectly, you know?
Oh my gosh.
It just came together.
Yeah.
It wasn't too much. It wasn't too little.
No. It was just
That's
crazy.
amazing for opening for the first time.
I know. So inventory management now, still a learning curve for me. But I mean, so opening day was super fun. But I didn't know how hard it was going to be found. And I remember my sister telling me, you know, you're going to have lots of hours by yourself. And I looked at her, I was like, no, I won't, you know?
Yeah.
I'll have all these reliable employees.
And
there.
all these customers.
Yes.
And, yeah.
Oh, that.
Yeah, that. So that was eye-opening, just in terms of being found. Lots and lots of slow days. Granted, we were opened in September, so you're heading into the holiday season. So that was good. That's how it all kind of started. And then here we are 8 years later.
So you're coming up on your 8th anniversary or 9th anniversary?
8th. We'll just be turning 8.
On September 2nd. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, you made it past 5 years.
Yeah.
Isn't that the sort of the
That's kind of
cutoff
like make it or
thing?
break it
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Tell us about your philosophy on the products that you buy for the store. Because
Yeah.
I know you feel really strongly about certain things.
Yes.
And you have some unusual
Right.
tie-ins with education.
Yes. So it is an educational store. Kids along the way have begged me to take the word educational off my window because they're like, my friends won't come in. And I think we're past that now because we carry a lot of fidgets and impulse items, lots of things that are in the kids' price range, which I didn't do at the beginning. And that was an oversight.
That was a learning curve.
It was.
Right,
It
yeah.
was. But I really try and make sure that everything is of high quality. It has an educational value to it, and that it's not otherwise found here in town. I try and also honor the stores that we already have. Like we have a bookstore, so lots of people are like, "Oh, you don't carry books." I carry one brand of books, and that took years for me to break down and carry this one particular brand, and it's called Twirl. This company is all kid-focused and educational and interactive in some way. So they really focus on like the 0 to about like 12, 13 years, and that's it.
Lake
And-
Forest Bookstore probably wouldn't be carrying that.
Right. And I did
know?
go in and I looked because I
Yeah.
kept getting this catalog and I'm like, oh my God, I love these books. So finally I went to the bookstore and I'm scouring. I was like, perfect. They don't carry it. It's fine.
Good.
That was
So-
you were being a good neighbor. a
Well,
good
I
retail
try. I
neighbor,
really do. Yeah. So because we're a small town. If you can find things in 4 different stores, all in a 4-block radius, what makes it special anymore, you know? So, and there are products that I have really loved and I've loved the brands, but if somebody else picks them up, it used to really offend me. And now I'm just like, well, it gives me an opportunity to change. I let it go, bring something else in new and hopefully, and oftentimes then I find something that's even better, you know? So
How it's the hot new toy right now.
right now.
I know.
Oh.
Those javelin.
Oh my, thank you.
What's it? A javelin?
She's a great
A
customer.
javelin?
Yeah.
We are currently waiting
like
for
a death
them.
toy? What?
No, they are.
Because we've done a show before on death toys.
Okay,
Oh,
no,
we have. That's right.
She's absolutely correct. We are anxiously awaiting our next shipment. So it's
What's it called?
It's called a javelin.
Okay.
It's called the Bad Rap Javelin. And it's made by a company called Marky Sparky. It's one of their latest items, and it flies really far. So it's a long, hollow tube, yellowish, transparent. On the tip, it's foam, and then on the back end, it has some fins, and you can actually have the fins be straight, or you can turn them for a left spin or a right spin.
Oh,
And the company is like, well, you hold it by the butt of the javelin and you throw it. And if you get it takes a little practice, but you can get it to literally fly so far. A friend of mine bought it for her godson and gave it to him. This is our first shipment, so it must have been around Easter. And his whole goal was to get it to fly over the house that they were at. Granted, it was a ranch.
Whoa.
But she was like,
Still.
he did it. He did. He
So
managed
you
to get
can
it.
do that.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
And now they make the Travelin' Javelin, which we still have to wait. It has not been released, but beginning of September. So it's a shorter one. So that'll be super fun too. Because the initial one, because of the length of it, it's a 10 plus. So even though like the younger kids are fascinated with it, but they're not able to fly it.
Coordination, yeah,
Right,
to
right.
throw it.
What
from-
is the age group for this toy?
The original is 10 plus. And
10
I'm not
plus, okay.
sure the Travelin' Javelin, I'm not sure the
'Cause
age
it's small.
yet. It'll be shorter. Yeah.
It's a catchy
shorter.
name.
Yeah.
Traveling javelin.
Like you can pack it in your suitcase.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
what I was thinking.
Yeah. So we'll see, but it'll be fun.
The only reason I think I know, because I was in there twice and it's sold out.
Oh,
The
And
rack
I
is
said-
empty.
I go, when are you getting these in?
I thought they'd come today. I was so disappointed. So maybe tomorrow.
you have tutoring at your
and
school.
tutoring.
Right.
Yes.
Let's
Tell
hear
us
a little
about
bit
that.
about that.
So tutoring through the Learning Center, we originally focused on like first grade on up, and we have multiple tutors depending on specialty. I of course want to do most of it because then the money goes back into the store.
Right.
But it really depends. Like I tap out on math. And my really good friend Beth, who I taught with, she left teaching at the same time as I did from St. Mary's, and she came on and was really instrumental in that first year and a half of getting the business started and did tutoring. And she still continues to tutor to this day, but she did ultimately go back to teaching. So ironically now, since COVID, like that really got us through COVID, honestly, was the tutoring.
I could imagine.
Yeah. But it opened up the doors to like the younger kids. So I didn't see it coming, but I teach a lot of younger kids, like the preschool, kindergarten.
Well, now what would they?
Wow.
What would they do?
Beginning reading skills. So we work on letter
wow.
sound recognition, consonant, vowel, consonant.
Like
just
what's
the blending of
sound. What does that look
Yes.
like? Stuff like that.
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
and very beginning basic math. And it's been so successful, and because they're
Whoa.
so young and you're really starting with just the basics, you see the growth. It is amazing how fast these kids pick things up.
I mean, kids are like sponge. I remember my dad saying he goes, "Learn this now because you're like a sponge."
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, "What do you mean? I'll always learn." He goes, "No, now, do it now because you're like a sponge and you'll absorb everything." And I'm like, "Okay." Oh boy, was he right?
Oh,
So I guess
absolutely.
that's what you're saying
Yeah.
about.
Yeah. And it's not like I don't see it with the older kids. It's just the rapid pace
Yeah.
because they're learning they have to learn so much so fast because everything else depends on that,
The building blocks.
Right.
Right. So I'm sure that this person told that person, and your business has just grown
Yeah.
like crazy with that age group.
And it's been really cool because when people come in and they're just shopping, but we're doing tutoring and the little office is off, I just hear people like, "Wait, you do tutoring here?"
Oh, I was just going to ask you about that, how that works within the retail space. So you have.
We have 2 office areas off the retail space. One small, one larger. The larger one is where if only one tutoring session is going on, that's where it's happening. If we have multiple, then we'll have another one in the smaller one.
Is that one-on-one or groups or how
We
does that-
started thinking that it was going to be small group, hence the bigger room would be the most popular. Nobody wants small group. They want one-on-one with their child.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I still offer small group tutoring, but parents kind of had to put it together themselves. 3+ kids. And and I always say, I will try anything, but if it's not working, I will tell you. Because honestly, it's usually a small group of 4th or 5th grade girls.
Oh, forget
And they're
it.
best friends.
Forget
And
it.
Great.
I can have
No.
great classroom management in a classroom, but in a small tutoring room in a toy store, it's much harder.
Oh no, they're
So-
just too busy
Yeah.
learning about each other and themselves and
Chit-chatting.
Right.
forget
And I'm like,
it.
hello.
Yeah,
Yep.
chatter and
Yeah.
girls are just talking.
Right.
4th, 5th grade, right?
Oh,
Right.
oh,
if I
yeah.
remember.
Yes, you're
Although,
absolutely right.
Yeah, I was doing that in kindergarten, but that's just me. But I remember 4th and 5th grade. Gosh, those were fun days.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
How did you come up with the name Sage Explorer?
Yeah,
That was my
good.
sister and I.
Oh.
Sitting on the couch one evening, trying to decide what the name of the store was going to be. And it ended up that we wanted to be able to recognize the fact that it was 2 businesses, an educational toy store as well as a learning center. So Sage for Wise, for educational toys, and Explorers for the journey of learning.
Oh.
And that's why the owl is our mascot as well.
I've always wondered,
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah.
It just came to me just now.
and it does make sense.
Yeah.
It does marry the 2 ideas together.
And it's an interesting name.
Yes. And
It causes curiosity, like you'd want to go in.
Well, good.
What kind of store is this? Sage Explorer.
Well, we got a lot of kind of backlash at the very beginning. Like I had
Why?
people
What do
and
you
they
mean?
did not hold back when they came in, and they would be like, your name has nothing to do with your store. And I was like, it actually does.
Wow, what a weird thing to come in and
Yeah.
say.
I know. Oh, people, they're
No
lacking filter.
No filter.
But I mean, who does that? Just walks into
I know.
a business and says,
Right.
this has nothing to do with what you're doing. A
And then
small business,
did you tell
especially.
them?
I did.
You
I
said,
did.
"Wait
And
a
then
minute, time out. This is the philosophy.
I hope
Right.
they
Yeah.
felt stupid.
Yeah.
Well, and then as it became like not the first time or the second time, then my response became, and this is no offense to anybody else's names, but then I just started saying, well, had I known I was going to be across from LF Juice and Lake Forest Food and Wine, I could have been Lake Forest Toy Store. I just wanted to be a little bit more clever.
That's so
Yeah.
banal. No.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah,
So-
no. Wow, I can't
Oh,
believe
well.
somebody would walk into a small business and say that.
Yeah, especially when they first open.
Like, thanks,
Right.
I'm the owner and I thought of it. But, cool.
Right.
right.
And it does kind of take your breath away. It's like, well, I don't know what to say.
Right. Like, well, I'm just trying to make a living here, babe.
Yeah.
Right.
But hey, thanks for the support.
Right.
But what are you going to do? You got to be nice because you are the
That's
owner.
Nice to everybody.
And they always win.
Yeah.
The customers always win. Do you
I
have
have a
something?
question. So tell us a little bit about the extra things that you offer at your store, like delivering,
Okay.
wrapping,
I mean, we
extra
try-
services, which makes you special.
Which you can do also like in store to request and also online if I'm not.
Yes.
And you
Okay.
can call
Yes.
it in.
And you can call in. So, I mean, we just try and make things as easy as possible from day one. We have a website. We work really hard to make it
SageExplorers.com.
Yep. We try as hard as possible to keep it as up to date as possible, but it is a ton. I mean, that's a whole nother job.
Yeah.
So in store, you can come in, you can shop. We have demos of almost all of our games. We've got
That you do.
yeah. So especially like with board games, you want to come in, you want to try it out. We can set you up. We can teach you how to play it.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Isn't
so you know what you're getting.
Oh,
And it's
yeah.
not reading the back of a box. And then, we try with our fidgets, especially, we try and have like a bin of things to just try out. So you know what you're getting before you purchase. And wrapping is always complimentary.
That's nice.
One of the things, I mean, I know we have obvious construction right now, but even from the get-go, it's you can call in, tell me what you're looking for. We can decide over the phone. I'll wrap. You pull up out front, you give me a call, I run it out to you. Because I know parking has always been an issue and will always be an issue. So we try and make things as convenient as possible. Free to local delivery all year. I mean,
Boy, that's really nice.
I know, isn't that?
That's extra special. I don't know anybody who does that besides you.
we are a small community. And so I think a lot of our local businesses, we will do what we can to make life easier on you, because that's our job. So I don't know definitely what everybody else is doing, but I know when I leave, I'm coming home to the west side of Lake Bluff. I'm driving past almost everything.
Let's talk about that construction.
Oh,
Let's talk about that. Now that deer path, and I didn't realize it was also on Bank Lane where you're located.
yes.
So not only has Deer Path been ripped up from Western Avenue to Oakwood, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And that completely impacts your business.
Yes.
How much of an impact has that had? And when did that start? Seems like it's been all year long.
Well, it
but-
has. They initially,
oh God, really?
Well, they initially started on Deer Path mid-January. So they ripped it up to replace century-old water mains.
Well, that was probably necessary.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah. And then put it back together. And now they're doing the streetscape. So that's the enhancement of Deer Path. And these are two separate projects, even though they're very connected because they're both going to enhance each street. But one is run by IDOT, and that's the Deer Path. And one is funded by Lake Forest.
Oh, well,
and
the
that's Bank Lane.
streetscape.
Ooh,
Yeah,
you're
that
going to
makes
have
sense.
a pretty one.
Yeah, that'll be pretty.
It's going to be gorgeous when it's
Yeah.
done. So, and now that we are getting closer to October 31st, I can wrap my head around it a little bit more. And
That's when it's supposed to end?
that's when it will be done.
Okay.
Hope to God they stick to that schedule
Yeah, because Christmas.
I know. So that's the only worry. But right now, I mean, there's still, as much as it's impacted business, there have been some silver linings. So has it kind of hurt business? Yes. The very first day that they blocked off Bank Lane to the one-way traffic, we had a $4 day. And that's one child coming in after school and buying one squishy. And I was like,
Oh my God.
oh boy,
Oh dear.
here we go. And, but it picked up. I do have to say, this community really does try to stand behind their small businesses. And so my usual customers, they're still walking in that door. And I, 3 months ago, fixed up my back door, and I've been spreading the word, like, you can avoid all of this and just come in the back door. They still are like coming in the front door, And so a lot of love to all of you who keep shopping, not just at my store, but all of our stores that are impacted by it, because I have told the city, like, you have to be done by October 31st, because true small businesses, if their fourth quarter is not strong, they don't get past the first quarter.
Yeah, that's
they
all
don't.
she wrote. Yeah.
Because I've had tough years. Like last year, I had a tough year. We had family illnesses going on. And I almost killed my own business, just not being there and then not mentally being there. And so now walking into this, I'm like, oh boy, because I know what one bad year does, I can honestly say we've had people find our store that might not have found our store had it not been under construction, because they're forced to walk Bank Lane. So silver linings and everything. Is it hurting business? Yes, but I'm finding new customers too. So hopefully that balances itself out.
Good.
So
That's good. I have to ask about the tariffs. How is that impacting you?
Oh,
I mean, that's really important, because I remember initially when this was being talked about, toys were the first thing that would tell us what's
it. That one really threw me for a loop. I mean, because it hit the toy business pretty instantly. And being somebody that doesn't have a business background, I was like, oh my God, what do I do?
That's a lot of math.
It's and it becomes a scurry. And so you're supposed to be running numbers and have a reason behind like why you're ordering for this department and this much. When that initially came down, the amount of emails coming from companies, and they're like, we're just going to do the best we can. Then you had companies that were like, they were being honest about, we cannot bring containers in. Here is how much money one container is going to cost us to dock. I mean, it was astronomical. I can't even make up the number.
It's a huge barge. So,
yes.
Yeah.
So I had certain companies that said, we're just not bringing things in and order now. So like one of them, Blue Orange Games. We love Blue Orange Games. So I ordered big, and I have nowhere to store things, but it was now or never. So you want favorite games in, the next estimated delivery date was 12/31 of 25, meaning we don't know when we're seeing this again.
So it was now or never. You had to make a decision.
Yeah. So it was order big of what they had in stock and see what happened. Then there were a couple companies that just said that they're small companies, and they were just like, we cannot do this. And so their stock, when they're gone. I mean, now they're starting to come back because things leveled out enough for them to make a reprieve. But so for how long, I have two companies in mind, how long will I be able to get their products? Unknown. Do I have the pre-orders in right now? Yes, for what I can. But I'm also like, there was one of the stores downtown. The owner was like, "Oh, well, lucky for me, I just threw down $20,000 in inventory," and I was like, "Yeah, must be nice."
I mean, if you have the cash,
yeah.
sure.
Right.
I mean, for those of us who are true small businesses, we are going to have to ride the wave of the tariff. We don't have the ability to just order ahead and stockpile so that Christmas is manageable for our customers, because we don't have the money to do that.
Right.
So,
And eat it, you really don't have the money to eat it the way a lot of companies have been for months.
Right.
Because I'm starting to notice companies are no longer eating it because they can't. So we're feeling, I'm paying higher prices. You know, and that's going to only continue.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to be as fair as humanly possible. Like I had an order come in 2 weeks ago, and sure enough, there it is, the tariff charge. And so then I'm like, okay, how do I, because I can't eat it. So, but how do I make this fair? So then I was like, well, how many products? And so then I was like, took the total of the tariff divided by number of product. But then I was like, well, but this product I bought for $6 and this product I bought for $15. So you can't apply. So then it was, let's break it down and figure out. So it was by percentage,
Per product.
Per product. So so a $6 item, I'm not going to attribute the same amount of tariff pricing on it as I would to the $15 wholesale, And I was good to the penny. Like there are companies out there that are like, oh, I'm being charged $300 in tariffs. I'm going to make money off of this.
Of course, they're unscrupulous.
Of course,
people everywhere.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just like because I know that this is now the way of the future for us. I can't eat it for this company and not for somebody else.
Right.
So it just has to. It just is what it is. So
I think the public realizes it.
I think so too.
I mean, they understand you can't eat it. And
and hopefully, so we'll see what happens. But no, it's when the year started, I was like, gosh, there's no easy year, like the tariffs and then the construction. And I was like, oh, fun. Okay.
Those are two mighty challenges.
Yeah.
But here we are. We're all the way. We made it to August.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, where do you expect or where do you want to be in 1 year? And where do you want to be in 5 years?
Okay, excellent questions. I'm always trying to grow the company, but I make it hard on myself because I don't have the background that I should, And I've worked at different times with retail coaches, inventory management companies, but they were also like not just over my head, but they also didn't understand the scale of my business. I'm like, they're not local, so they can't come in and be like, oh, I see. This is where you're 900 square feet and a whole wall of it is windows. Got it. Okay. So I'm really working on inventory management because I understand the amount of product I have in that store determines the amount of money I can make. So more inventory, more ability to make money. But how do you manage that so you don't run out of money? Right? Mm-hmm. So one of the good things, and it's a test, but I am usually always like, oh my God, I need games. And then I order games big time. And then I'm like, whew, okay, games covered. And I turn around the corner. I'm like, oh my God, infant toddler. I have nothing for 2-year-olds. Or order big. And so it's always like fixing one crisis at a time. With this construction, I was like, all right, how can I thank the customers who are walking in the store religiously despite construction? Well, keep things fresh. So instead of always ordering big, I'm committing myself to making 2 to 3 smaller orders every week so that every time people come in that door, there's new stuff. Mm-hmm. And then I'm thinking, this might just work. This might just be exactly the philosophy that I need to follow because it will help me with my own inventory management because I'm not going to be in crisis all the time. So I'm working on doing that. And so far, so good, But again, you flip back. I had a friend come in this morning and was like, what is that empty shelf up there? And I was like, we are waiting for scootin' rides. What are you talking about?
Scootin' rides.
Yeah. And I'm like, that was one of the companies hit hard by the tariffs and who weren't bringing things in. But I kept checking and all of a sudden it was like pre-order available and I jumped on it. So I'm not going to fill the shelf space because they're big boxes. So I have an entire upper shelf that's empty, but not on purpose, So
right.
There's a spin on that too that then goes back to tariffs. So.
Oh golly, I don't envy your challenges.
Keeps me on my toes.
You're juggling act.
Yes.
You're like juggling everything, and then
now I'm super double, triple glad that we were having Allison for our first.
I know.
I would have so appreciated.
Really glad we're having you.
Thank
here.
you.
I can't think of a better person for buy local.
I'm super grateful to everybody out there who is supporting local, whether or not it's me. It can be any of our local businesses. Like we had a fire alarm across the street this morning. And so the couple that owns the Lake Forest Juice now, I taught her 5th grade way back when.
Oh my,
that's wild.
She and her husband now own it. So we were out there chatting, and so it's just, we're all a very interconnected community. So maybe you don't have kids or grandkids or whatever. I do say I try and have something for everybody. 1,000-piece puzzles. Here we go. But go across the street. You're still supporting our community, you
Yeah.
know, and you're helping to put, like, when you shop with me, it's like dinner on my table, you know? So,
Well, that's why we're having you as our guest.
well, thank you.
Oh.
Give us all your
Okay.
pertinent info.
Okay. Sage Explorers, 644 North Bank Lane in Lake Forest. Our website is sageexplorers.com. Hours, they kind of vary a little bit, but they tend to be Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, 10 to 6, Tuesday, 10 to 5:30, Friday, 10 to 5, Saturday, 10 to 4, and now we are open Sunday, so 7 days a week. Sunday hours are 11 to 3.
Okay.
So,
And the best way to get anybody in contact with you regarding the tutoring aspect.
calling the store directly, 224-271-2135, or coming in, you know, because I love to be able to, like, if you have children and you want, it's great for them to see me and we can sit down and then I can talk to them about their specific child or children and what their needs are. So calling is great. Coming in is great too. Tutoring in the afternoon gets busy fast. So coming in and chatting with me in the mornings works great.
Oh, and school's starting, so people
It
are probably
is.
going to be
yeah.
starting to fill that up.
Well, and
Yeah.
that's the thing is once school starts, we have to fit it all in between like the 3 to 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
So tutoring does tend to, especially in the school year, fill up fast. So,
How about employees? You looking for any?
oh yes, I have just had such luck with wonderful employees, but most of them were senior in high school. So I've literally my last senior today. I have one employee who I actually started tutoring in 4th grade. She is starting
crazy.
college, but here locally. So she will be coming back around and starting back up with me. But yes, I am hiring. So
All righty. And now you know the information and how to
Yes.
get hold of Allison at Sage Explorers. Golly, thank you so much for coming.
thank you. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Yeah. We'll be right back with a little entertainment blurb from Holly. Okay, we're back with celebrity news.
Okay, we
We have a couple of items. The first one is an RIP.
Brandon Blackstock, Kelly Clarkson's ex-husband, passed away from melanoma. And I know it took her away from her work for a couple of weeks. And I know she's
Longer than that.
Yeah. She's probably dealing with a lot. I don't know much about him. I think he was her manager.
He was her manager
at some point,
yeah.
and then they divorced. But of course, she still, was close with them because he's the father of their
It was
children.
an extremely contentious divorce, but they
It
did
was.
work it out eventually
Okay, good.
for the kids,
Yeah.
as people often, hopefully, do. And then we had some other celebrity news. What was it that you just said?
Jennifer Aniston and her hot boyfriend.
She has a hot new boyfriend, and
Yeah.
I can't remember his name.
Oh, I'll
Do you
look
remember?
it up, but you said you...
Okay. Well, anyway, I read this really great Vanity Fair article. I believe it's coming out in September. And it was a terrific interview. And she touched on things that people would want to hear about. She's great friends with Sandra Bullock. She's very good friends with Gwyneth Paltrow as well. But a lot of the quotes taken about Jennifer were from Sandra Bullock.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
In the article.
In the article, yeah, because they were so tight. And one of the questions they asked, because both Gwyneth and Jennifer Aniston went out with, well, actually
Brad
Brad Pitt. Well, Gwyneth was engaged to him, and then of course, unfortunately, Jennifer married him. And she said, "Well, do you and Gwyneth ever talk about Brad?" And she goes, "Oh, yeah, of course we're girls. Of course we do."
Oh, how funny.
And I thought it was really good that she was able to just sort of say that. They also touched on the security issue about that guy who hopped her fence.
Yes, I heard about that.
Yeah. And she kind of was open about how freaky it is and how she has to be a hermit, because of what celebrity brings. And she was just really open about it and just saying, "I'm trying hard not to Howard Hughes myself."
Oh, okay.
Which I can understand, right? So, and what else did she talk about? Oh, she kind of touched on a little bit about her mom. They did not have a great relationship.
I was going to say rocky relationship.
Yeah, and one of the things she said about was how she was always trying to please her father. Gee, will this be good enough for him? And will this? I thought for her, given how closed she has been about her personal life
Right.
always.
Yeah.
This was a real wide open interview. And she said that was really probably the biggest heartbreak of my life. But
Losing her father?
no, maybe thinking that she really lived up to him
Oh.
or his expectations of her growing up. Sorry, I didn't know we were going to talk about this. But like, I'm trying to remember the article. And it was just, I kind of related to that a little bit, because I sort of did the same thing. And you always wonder, was I supposed to be more? Was I supposed to be better? Was I supposed to do more? Did I make everything of myself? Does he think it was good? So that was revealing, I thought, of her to
interesting.
talk about that. Yeah.
I did see the cover shot of Vanity, where she's on the cover.
Yeah. I mean, was she on a chair? Like
She was on. She had a beautiful long.
Oh, the gold dress?
Yes.
Okay, then I did see that.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
That was
and
the
it
cover
looks
shot.
gorgeous. It's going to sell a lot of magazines because everyone want to find out. And her boyfriend's name, by the way, is Jim Curtis, and he's a hypnotist. And she was going to him.
A hypnotist?
Mm-hmm. So they look like a darling couple, and we'll see where it goes.
So that's what he does for a living? Is he like a motivational guy?
Probably
or?
that's mixed in there.
Probably.
I would assume.
I would imagine.
But obviously he caters to the celebrities.
Oh, I would imagine. Yeah. I did read where he has a book out, which she,
Right.
Yeah, and I would be interested in that.
Okay. Well,
maybe
we'll
I'll
have to
look at that.
buy it.
Maybe we will,
Okay.
or I will, and we can trade it back and forth.
And then we
It
can report
sounds
back.
Yeah, it sounds a little bit like it's along the lines of. Did you ever read Emotional Intelligence? It came out a long time ago. Okay.
No.
It gets, I bet it's going to get scientific like that one did, which was like, I'm like, oh boy, okay, got to put in my thinking cap for this one, so, but we'll see what it is. But I think he's hot.
Yeah.
I hope it works out. He's got spinal stenosis, I think they said, or something.
Oh, is that what he has?
And he walks with a cane,
Right.
and it's a degenerative condition. So
Okay.
it's going to probably get worse, but he is a babe.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't use that word lightly.
No.
You know, I
we
mean-
both saw him and went, woo.
Simultaneously. Anyway, that's celebrity news. Thanks so much for listening, everybody. This is Ladies Who Question. We hope you like our new format, and we think we kicked it off with a really great guest.
interview. Absolutely.
Yeah, we
so
love her.
send us your comments, like us, sign up, everything. Subscribe and
Follow.
do all that stuff.
Yeah. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Harvey. Ladies Who Question is executive produced and edited by me, Lisa Dominique, and also executive produced by Holly Caulfield. Holly also does most of our research, and Claire Caulfield is in charge of technical assistance and social media. Music, My Lionheart. Sketch music by Florian Manx and Matthew Anderson. Thanks for listening. Please subscribe, follow, rate, and review Ladies Who Question on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. Send your thoughts to ladieswhoquestion@gmail.com. Follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Threads, and our website, ladieswhoquestion.com.
All content discussed on Ladies Who Question are the opinions of Lisa Dominique and Holly Caulfield and should not be construed as advice of any kind. By listening to this podcast, you agree not to use this podcast as advice of any personal or medical issue for yourself or others. This disclaimer also applies to guests or contributors to the podcast.